Welcome back to the Point of Order podcast, an inside look at California politics and the state legislature. I am your host, Assemblyman Josh Hoover, and pleased to be joined again today by my chief of staff, Teresa Trujillo, your fifth time on the show, according to my notes.
Apparently, yeah. I haven't counted.
Does it feel like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel more comfortable than the first time, for sure.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
So today we're going to dive into some stories of the week and then also the bills that Governor Newsom signed and vetoed. So he had until, we're recording this on a Wednesday, he had until Monday, October 13th to sign bills. So that was his last tranche, right?
Yeah.
And so, so we'll be getting into that. But first, you just got back from vacation, right?
Oh, I did.
So, how'd it go? Where did you go and how did it go?
Yeah, well, it didn't go as good as it could have, I'll tell you that. So it was like our anniversary trip.
Okay,
which
nice.
was, we try to do stuff for our anniversary, which is nice. And we love the area. It's Monterey, which no one's really heard of. It's kind of like wine country.
Okay.
It's kind of by wine country. And actually, we always go to, we always hit wineries when we're there. We always go to Corbel.
Okay.
It's right over,
Nice.
that's in
Yeah.
Guerneville.
Okay.
So we went there, and we really like it because of the location, because it's really close to the coast. It's like 20 minutes from Jenner, which is north of Bodega Bay. More people have heard of Bodega Bay. But it's just an area we absolutely love. We've always go to Bodega Bay, Jenner, Monterey, like that area.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to be inland a little bit because we stayed on the Russian River, which we really like. It's really pretty. And I like to stay inland sometimes because the weather is better. It was actually, we went to Jenner and hung out at the coast all day on our anniversary. We went to a really cute restaurant there, and it's on the Russian River, but right at the opening of the Pacific. It's really beautiful, and really enjoyed that. But we stayed at the coast, and it was so windy.
Really?
It was so windy.
Did it rain at all, or was it?
So that's my bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, we go back to Monterey later, and it's 74 and no wind at all, and it's 20 minutes away. It's
That's weird.
10 miles.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So that's kind of why I like inland a little bit. But on Monday, it rained the entire day.
Oh, wow.
And it poured.
Yeah. That's a
And
bummer.
it poured. So we really just went to the Corbel Winery. That's when we went to Corbel and had some tastings, and then we went out to lunch, and then otherwise we were just kind of stuck. And we always rent a house.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we did. So it was fun.
That's cool.
Still had a great time.
Yeah,
we went
sounds
kayaking and
not
walked
perfect
around.
weather.
Just not perfect weather. It's just
all good.
raining all day is not ideal.
You still have more trips this year, right?
Yeah.
What's your next one?
So my next one is Stinson Beach.
Oh, Stinson Beach.
For my husband's birthday.
I just live vicariously through your travel adventures. Yeah.
Well, we did Santa Barbara too, which was, we did Santa Barbara in September. And then Stinson is early November. And then my biggest one is Costa Rica. Which, that's.
We're supposed to go to Costa Rica in for our 40th birthdays.
Oh, really?
I mean, technically we don't have birthdays in the same year, but we're going to kind of all try to just celebrate 40ths.
Oh, yeah.
Mine will just be a year early.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
So that'll be fun. So that's a couple years away, but
I'll give you pointers.
You'll have to give me pointers.
Yeah, because we're going to 3 different regions.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finally getting away next week for the laziest of all vacations, which is just a cruise ship to the Bahamas, to the Eastern Caribbean, essentially.
Yeah, I love that.
Eastern Caribbean, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. Turks and Caicos and Miami. So.
Oh yeah, Miami.
I've never been to Miami, so it'll be fun.
Miami's fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. It'll be.
Yeah.
We love the beach, and we love. This time in our lives, we love.
Yeah.
Not doing too much on vacation. So it's a super beach chill vacation versus sort of more adventurous vacation.
Yeah,
so.
and we're the opposite.
Yeah.
Now that my husband and I are in our 50s, it's oh my God, I need some action, man.
I feel like we're going to shift at some point, but just with all the chaos with the kids right now and sports and always having a full calendar, we're we just want nothing on the calendar.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a cruise is the best way to unwind.
It's great.
Really relaxing.
Yeah, so it should be a good time, and I'll be out of your hair for a week or so, so it'll be good.
But Miami, that's the best of both worlds. There's so much to do there.
I'm excited about Miami. I've never
awesome.
been to. I honestly don't think I've ever been to Florida, which is so weird, right? But
yeah, I've been there.
Never been there.
Been there a couple times. I really like it.
I grew up a big Miami Dolphins fan.
Oh, that's
because
funny.
my dad is a Dolphins fan from his childhood days, and so I was a big Dan Marino fan and everything. And then I got a little older. I'm like, what am I doing? Like nobody watches. You can't even watch the Dolphins on the West Coast, So I picked up the Niners when I got a little older. But yeah, it was just kind of. I still have a soft spot for the Dolphins, even though they're terrible.
Yeah, are they? Oh, and we liked the quarterback for a while. Was it Tui or?
Oh, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah, well, we watched him, I think, when he played for Alabama, I believe.
Yeah.
My husband's like way more into college football. Yeah.
I mean, there's things about college football that's so exciting, though. Yeah. It's just it's just really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm more into pro football, but I get the college. I get why college is more popular for some people.
Yeah. So,
a little more, I don't know.
Well, I'm excited for your vacation, though.
Yeah, no, well, me too.
We
haven't done this. We're actually leaving the kids at home, so the kids they're probably fine with it, honestly.
I'm sure
they're
are.
Like, whatever. Like,
you need to have like just you time with your wife.
And our daughter probably will be like, oh, why can't we come? But really, they're going to be fine with it. Yeah,
good.
And so we're looking at. I can't say it on this podcast because. I guess my kids don't really listen, but we might do Disneyland again next year. We'll see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because Disney's doing like a big deal for California residents.
Oh, are they?
Later this year.
Yeah.
So,
I could care less.
I know. No, my wife's not a big Disney person either, but...
my kids are past that age. It's like, I guess if I have grandkids one day, but I'm not a Disney person at all. So...
Well,
I'm a beach person.
I actually used to be the same way where I was like, whatever about Disneyland, but... Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you got to do what the kids want sometimes, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kids love it.
You got to keep them happy.
Yeah, kids love it. So I get it.
Yeah, so let's jump into some stories. So obviously, there's been a lot going on in the last couple of weeks since our last episode. The big one off the top is the peace deal in the Middle East. Obviously, we typically don't talk about like federal global stuff, but I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, it was a huge deal to get, the Israeli government and, the Palestinians to sign off on something that they both agreed on.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty astounding. I didn't know if that was actually possible.
Yeah.
So pretty big deal.
Yeah,
and pretty exciting for the hostages, obviously, and their families. And just hopefully, I don't want to get too much into the geopolitics, but hopefully a good sign for the Middle East and for peace, so.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's a huge accomplishment for the Trump administration, of course.
And he got pretty fair coverage on it.
He did.
I mean, it was interesting to see, even Hillary Clinton came out and kind of gave him credit for this, and a lot of different people on the left really said, that was not just impressive, but really unique to him. Could anyone else done that? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, CNN, we watched a little bit of their coverage, and they don't love Trump, but they definitely did some good coverage on the peace deal. So I was really, that was before it happened, but it sounded like it was going to happen, and I thought they definitely did some good coverage. So that was good. Yeah,
it's just kind of shocking to me. I mean, he breaks a lot of the political norms, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't operate like a typical, sort of by the book president in terms of some of the how he negotiates and stuff, which probably assisted him in some way here. But it's just amazing to me that you can have someone who literally moved the embassy to Jerusalem and still has all these great relationships with, a lot of the Islamic countries and stuff. It's just, it's incredible. It's just like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to comprehend a little bit.
But happy for that to be, because I feel like it's caused a lot of tension in our colleges and our universities and stuff like that. Just like that whole thing, I would like to go away.
I do hope I hope that it definitely calms the situation and brings some peace. I mean, it's hard because a lot of things like this are temporary, right? But even in this moment, I think it's a good thing. So, the other big story is first I didn't actually tell you about this one. So, have you heard about the whole gate, like the envelopes for the Prop 50 ballots or whatever?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's all these videos going around of like if you put your ballot in the envelope and mail it, it actually shows the bubbles.
Oh,
for like the no and the yes.
Interesting.
Through the little hole.
Yeah, exactly.
In the ballot, at least in Sacramento County.
Whole
This
gate.
is actually like, so well, I'll open this story and we'll touch on it very briefly. But it's people are sort of freaking out about it. I do think it's a poorly designed ballot.
Yeah, for sure.
Those holes do serve a purpose, and they're actually to help people who are blind to find the signature area on their envelope. So like they do serve an important purpose. I also have spoken with the registrar, and they actually use them to see if the envelope is empty when they're counting.
Oh, okay.
So if they can see air through, space through there, then they know that the ballot's been taken out and counted. But it definitely has created some concern.
Yeah.
So the Secretary of State came out, Shirley Weber, and put out this big statement like correcting the record or something on this. And it just said, the holes are an accessibility feature for sight-impaired voters. I read it on Facebook. It's, let's see, it allows sight-impaired voters to orient themselves to where they're required to sign the envelope. And she just basically like decried any concern about this as like misinformation, disinformation. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's true. What you're saying is true, but also it's also true that they do line up with the holes and the bubbles. So, whether or not that's cause for great concern or not, I think is debatable. But like the fact that she's basically saying like none of that is accurate, it's like, but you can do it yourself. You can put it in your ballot.
Yeah, exactly.
And kind of see for yourself. So it's just weird. But I just thought it was funny. Again, it's just like both sides kind of talking past each other.
Exactly.
And like you've got some, and I'm personally like, I think there's ways to rectify that pretty easily.
Yeah.
Where you just fold your ballot a different way, or you don't mail it, you take it to a drop box, or if you're concerned or something. But it's just kind of like, all right, guys.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny.
That is pretty funny.
Let's see. Okay, so last story of the week before we jump into the bills governor signed and vetoed. Katie Porter fallout.
Okay. So
we've all seen the probably everyone in the world at this point, or at least in California, has seen the viral multiple clips of Katie Porter, who is a former congresswoman and current candidate for governor of California. Leading candidate for governor, right?
Yep.
And I actually need to check if they've done a poll since the videos came out. But 2 viral videos last week. One that really sparked it was an interview on CBS with Julie Watts, who's an investigative reporter over there. Asked her about, essentially 40% of the voters in the last election voted for a Republican candidate. Like, do you need those people to win, essentially? Or she asked... she might have actually stated, it was kind of interesting, she said, like, you'll need those people.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting, right? I was like, well.
You're right. Yeah.
And so I kind of got Katie's initial sort of confusion.
I do too.
But then it just went off the rails. Like real off quickly. The rails. Like she was so offended by the question that like she couldn't get back on track. And there was even a point in the interview where the reporter just like restated the question to restart basically. And then she kept going on like the complaining about, I don't know, what did she say? Like argumentativeness or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
if you're going to have a follow-up question, like 7 follow-up questions for every question.
And then she wanted to cut the interview. So it's just like, okay. I was blown away by like, that is the type of situation you have to be able to handle.
Exactly.
As a candidate for governor in this state.
It's a minor question. It's like such a minor question. It's like not a question that should make you like all upset about and wanting to call the interview. It's such a minor. It was so, I don't know. It just was bizarre.
Well, and it's just so crazy to me because I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like politicians in California that are in the majority party just don't get questioned in quite the same way that we do in the minority party. And like a question like that is not even outside of the norm in any way for like, you know what I mean? Like to me, it's like, I'm used to getting tough questions. I'm used to getting challenging, challenges, right? Or challenged by the media.
Yeah.
And you just got to be ready for it.
Yeah. But for the Dems here, there's like no follow-up. It's like they always let you slide. They ask the initial question, and then you might say the correct answer, or you would give them a garbage response or a non-answer, and there's no follow-up. It's always like that. So it's like they're never... I feel like they're just not held accountable like Republicans are held accountable in this state.
I will say there's a few reporters that are doing that, right?
There are,
like,
of course. There's some good ones.
And ironically, like the Dems don't want to talk to them because it's like they're like, okay, just avoid that reporter. You know, let's find a back exit somewhere that we can not have to, or you know, to the point where like not even holding press conferences because they don't want to have to answer questions to that person. So I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. But
yes,
I don't need to name names right now. But yeah, so it was interesting. Then right after that, obviously this is when everything happens. When you're the top dog in the race or the front runner, everyone comes gunning for you, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, another video was released about her doing a Politico taping where she yelled at a staff member because they stepped into her video shot and
twice
said like, I didn't play it because of the profanity, but like get out of my effing shot, like that sort of thing. That video also has gone viral. And it's just like, okay, so let's play this clip.
Okay.
This is her she actually had a longer response to this. This is just a clip of the response to sort of the concerns surrounding these videos, and then we'll discuss her response.
Okay.
So this is your first time speaking publicly since the now 2 viral videos. What do you want people to know about you, and do you have the temperament to be the next governor of California?
When I look at those videos, I want people to know that I understand that I could have handled things better. I think I'm known as someone who's able to handle tough questions, who's willing to answer questions, and I want people to know that I really value the incredible work that my staff can do. I think people who know me know I can be tough, but I need to do a better job expressing appreciation for the amazing work that my team does.
So yeah, so what are your thoughts on, I need to do a better job of letting my staff know when they're doing a good job?
Yeah, well, I mean,
she went on to say other things too, by the way.
The funny thing about that is her staff was just trying to like give her the correct information, you know, but of course she had gotten in her shot earlier. But I just think that Katie Porter already has a reputation. I mean, people in California know, and it was a national story, both of these things.
Yeah.
And like, you need to be more respectful to people. You need to treat people better. And the fact is that she is just trying to save face right now. That's all she's trying to do. You know what I mean? She has a history of this. She hasn't changed. She already went through, I think, anger management.
Yeah.
And obviously that didn't really take.
Yeah.
But I think it was last week, I think it was right after the staff video came out, Politico shared the apology that her team put out that says she has to do a better job. She's basically repeating that. And Politico also mentioned how in 2023, her team put almost the exact same apology out for another incident that she
so wild.
Yes. So it's like she recycled.
Yeah.
She recycled an apology for one.
Yeah.
So that means it's like how heartfelt is that? It's just a recycled apology, where she doesn't really even apologize.
Right.
And it's like she just doesn't. She's not nice to people. And it's like some people excuse it away. We've seen like some people on the left have excused it away. Oh, that she had a bad day.
Well, yeah, that was actually in the story. It was like, oh, you know, everyone has a bad day.
Yeah.
I think Christine Pelosi or someone said that.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, a bad day doesn't excuse you for treating people poorly.
Right.
Like, I have bad days all the time.
I think too, as like, you know, I've never talked to my staff that way. No. I have bad days too.
I know.
I typically try not to yell and cuss at you guys.
Yeah.
On a typical day, that doesn't happen now. But yeah, it's just like, no, I mean, everyone has bad days, but you also have a sort of baseline, you know, approach to your staff. And like, if if that gets normalized, right? Like
Yeah.
there have been a lot of people in the legislature, in government, that have had the reputation for just being a terrible boss.
Yeah.
Right. There's tons of people. I mean, it's not like everyone.
Yeah.
There's some really great people, but there's some people that have a reputation for being a terrible boss.
Yeah.
And it is not a case by case thing. It's like a constant thing.
It is. It is.
You know.
We see all the turnover. We see like the job openings for certain offices that are constantly having to restaff because
It's very clear.
their member treats them like trash, and that's exactly what happened. And I also think I don't know if it was that interview or whatever, but I also heard another interview that they asked point blank, like, "Are we going to see more of these videos?"
It was that interview, later
okay,
in that
it
interview,
was.
yeah.
And she didn't answer the question. Are we going to see more videos of staffers, of you treating staff poorly? She was asked it at least 3 times, did not answer it all 3 times, because she knows that there's a lot more videos out there, because she knows how she treats people. And so I'm like, I'm sorry, but we should be able to find someone better for governor for like the state, the country's largest state, that we should have, they should have better candidates out there that don't treat people like garbage.
Yeah. And she's locked down some early support from some different groups and things, but I think it's still early enough where you could easily see someone else emerge.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
And
well, and I don't even think we have we don't even know who the whole pool is yet, because they were there was a new name that it was a Tom Steyer.
Oh, is he thinking about coming in again? And then like Alex Padilla is talking about getting in.
Padilla.
So it's just
Rick Caruso.
Rick Caruso. It's still so early, and I just don't think you can really overcome this.
Yeah.
Maybe she can, but I just think that this is a pretty tough one. I mean, it went just so viral, and it just sort of, I don't know, like there's a different standard. You actually see this a lot when, Congress people run for president, or, senators run for president, or when, legislators run for governor. It's just a different ballgame,
It is.
and you really have to be a little more prepared for it. And you get questioned more than you do as just a regular legislator or whatever, So I just think, like, if you can't handle these early interviews, I mean, this was supposed to be a softball, not a softball interview, because that's not really what Julie Watts does, but it's like an informational interview.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to know you.
Talk about the issues, talk about your, thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's really all this was.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just, if you can't get out of the gate with that one, it's pretty tough. Like, I think it's going to be pretty tough to bounce back, but
oh my gosh.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the videos, we'll put one of the other videos in the notes too, just in case someone somehow hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
It's been floating around quite a bit.
Yeah.
So let's dive into bills signed and vetoed by the governor. I was gonna start with just like our bills very briefly, right? That we actually went 8 for 8 this year.
Yeah,
so we got 8 bills to the governor's desk. All 8 were signed by the governor. Very appreciative of those signatures. Had some cleanup bill for the Phone Free Schools Act. We did some bills on highway road construction. We did a really cool small business bill for our craft distillers, which that was a just battle to get that thing through the legislature.
It really was.
Probably the toughest bill of the year for us, right?
It was.
And it was just amazing to see. So basically, the context of this is during COVID. So we have a lot of craft distilleries in California that distill spirits, sort of like a winery produces wine, right? It's just it's not the big or a brewery, we have craft breweries that do beer. We've got wineries that do wine. We've got these craft distillers that do spirits. But they're small businesses. They're not like the big names that you've heard of.
Exactly.
And they really rely on direct, contact with the consumer to be able to sell their product. Well, during COVID, these craft distillers were given the ability to ship certain amounts of products to consumers directly, kind of like wineries do with boxes of wine or whatever.
Exactly.
Bottles of wine. So that was set to sunset at the end of this year, I believe.
Yes.
And the bill mostly just extends that sunset date, and then also allows them to sell a little bit more from directly from their shops.
Yep.
And so, I had never really worked on a bill involving alcohol of any kind. And I would say that it is one of the most complicated policy spaces because the market is so competitive and there's so many different players, right?
Yeah,
So
it was kind of crazy.
it was a good learning experience, but
honestly, like just describing the bill to me and to the listeners, it's like a common sense bill. It's like they're like, I could get anything shipped to me. I could go buy as much as I want from a grocery store. I could buy 10 Tito's bottles if I want. It doesn't matter. I don't have those. So it's kind of bizarre that they have all of these rules and regulations that govern how much they can give, and their small businesses yet are the big, the big guys. The big players don't have to follow any of the same rules. They can just, So it's a really bizarre type of situation. And the fact that you're right. The dynamics of no one wanting these people to do what they can do. They're like, everyone's like, oh no, you can't do that. I know we can do that, but you can't do that.
It was really fascinating, honestly. It was a really interesting bill. So basically, we're probably gonna have to come back next year, or someone is, right? Because I think the sunset only got extended by one more year. So these distillers will be able to ship directly to consumers for another year through 2026. So that's a huge but temporary win for these small businesses. And so we'll see what the future holds for other conversations on this. But
I thought it was
kind of an interesting one.
It was. And plus we started out small because they were telling us all the other provisions, the direct, the shipping to the consumers that was too controversial and this and that. We were going to get all of this, pushback, which we did get some pushback, but ultimately we ended up getting all the things that they really needed to be like a successful small business.
Yeah.
So it was pretty exciting.
No, it was good bill, good win. A couple other bills we did, AB 1308, which streamlines the process for essentially approving residential housing projects at the end of the process, so the inspection process. That can actually get really backlogged, really delayed, and lead to not just delays for releasing housing to the community, but also an increase in cost, because the longer that the process takes, the more costly it gets.
Of course.
And so, this will, the original version of this bill would have allowed for third-party inspectors if the city can't inspect the house within 30 days, but the final product ultimately just put a 10-day timeline on cities and counties to approve these, to do these inspections. I think it'll definitely be a bill that will streamline the process for getting housing available to the community, hopefully bring down some costs in the process. And something I'm very passionate about is just with the cost of housing where it's at, I think this will be a small but meaningful step. And it was part of a larger package, the fast track housing package that really, I think, passed a lot of good streamlining bills.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's a really great bill, actually. And as far as the package goes, I thought it was one of the more exciting bills in the package, because if you're into flipping shows like I am, time is money.
Time is money.
Time is money.
Always, right?
And it's like these delayed permits and all of these other things that get delayed. Well, someone is eating those costs. I mean, that costs money.
Yeah.
And if it's a big developer, it's going to
impact the price.
They're going to put that onto the consumers for sure.
Totally.
So I think it could be a really great bill for bringing down housing costs.
Yeah, I was glad to see the governor sign that one.
Yeah.
And then we had a human trafficking bill as well that I think will help prevent trafficking survivors from being re-victimized in family court, which, we had a wonderful testimony from Bella, who is a trafficking survivor, who shared her story in committee, whose trafficker is using a child that she had with this person to kind of against her, right? And continuing to re-victimize her in the family court system. So this will, I think, help prohibit that, or at least reduce the fears on that. So,
yeah, for sure.
So those were some of our bills. We also joint authored a few others. Obviously, Robert Rivas. I got to give a lot of credit to Blanca Rubio, who had the initial version of this bill that eventually got shifted to Rivas. But it's AB 1454 to restore phonics to the classroom, science-based reading materials, provide training and instruction to teachers on how to teach reading from a science-based phonics perspective, something that we really got away from in the 90s in California and have seen our literacy rates plunge since then. We moved to this whole language reading model that has just been an absolute disaster. And so this really, I think, we are now 50th in the country in literacy. And this is going to really turn the tide on that.
Although this is just, it's not a requirement, right? The original bill was a requirement.
Yes,
This is just like, gives this as one of the tools that teachers can use.
Yeah, so this gets I would say the science-based reading instruction back into the training, for teachers, which I think we'll see other bills in the future that'll continue building on this. But I think it's a really important first step because we have to get things moving back in the direction of phonics-based learning. Yeah,
and I think there's been, and I'm rusty on it, but I definitely know there's been lots of data. I think like Mississippi or something, one of those states embraced it, and like their reading scores went up like 10 points or something like that.
It's been amazing. Mississippi's now in the top 10 in literacy, I believe, on the latest ranking. And they were in the 30s at one point. Yeah. But they have just shot up and seen so many improvements. And we know that, like, if you don't learn to read by the beginning of fourth grade or the end of third grade in this case, right, your outcomes are severely reduced, right? And not just your academic outcomes, but your actual life outcomes in terms of, the success you will have. The reading is the building block for learning anything, right? Like math and science and whatever it is, you got to be able to read. So it's going to be good.
Yeah. So my issue, though, is the fact that this bill was so hard fought, because I believe you were a co-author on the original proposal last year. And the fact that this seems like it's just common sense. I mean, it's already been proven. We already have the data numbers out there that it's been proven to really improve our children's reading success. So who's against it? I don't get it.
It's very frustrating how difficult this bill was.
Yeah, it's just a little confusing to me as just like a mother, a parent, and just like someone who actually cares about the success of our children. Like, I don't understand why we can't get things like this that are just common sense through the legislature in California, how it's such a battle.
The education establishment's really tricky because it's like there's so many like trends and things that people cling to. And then when you go to try to, and when you say like show that it's not working and you want to do something differently, there's so much resistance to that.
Can't reverse course.
Yeah,
so. I know. I agree. It's like people don't like change, and I understand that. But it's if there's like a proven method out there that's helping, why?
The
what
problem
do you have to lose?
You have to be willing to admit that something's not working.
Exactly.
And a lot of the groups in education right now are not willing to do that.
Or you just look at the test scores.
It's like, no, we can't. We can't admit that, right?
Yeah.
Another bill, AB 940, was a bill I also joined authored with Assembly Member Buffy Wicks and Stan Ellis, requiring GoBiz to really make California a prime location for quantum research and technology. I'm not going to spend any time on this podcast explaining quantum computing. Google, ask Grok or ChatGPT or something for a basic summary. But really important for national security.
For sure.
The next generation of computing technology that's really going to decide the future of sort of internet and computer security and national security. So, and be able to solve problems at a rate that no binary computer can do right now. So it's, if we ever get Stan Ellis on the podcast, I'm going to make him explain it.
Exactly.
Because he was a joint author of this bill and actually founded a quantum company and knows his stuff on this. So that will be a topic we talk to him about someday.
For sure. That was fun though.
It was good. I actually got to go to UC Berkeley, where they have one of the biggest quantum labs in it is in California. They actually just won a Nobel Prize like a week later. Just amazing. We actually traveled with these researchers to DC to really advocate for Congress to really prioritize support for this as well. It's a great bipartisan issue.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an issue with a lot of support across the aisle, and it was good to join for the bill signing there. That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm glad you got to do that.
And then lastly, AB 1043 Wicks, which I believe I was a co-author of as well.
You were.
that requires device manufacturers, so basically phones, computers, mobile devices, iPads, whatever you want to call it, to create an interface for age verification at the time of account setup. So this would be basically allowing parents to age verify their child on their hardware device. So not as opposed to having to get age verification through each individual app or software like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or whatever it might be, allowing the hardware to actually verify the age of the child, allow the parent to verify the age of the child so that they can limit access to certain content. Right now, this is important for a lot of different reasons, but it's a huge barrier right now. Age verification is a huge barrier to being able to really prohibit certain content for kids, right? That really isn't appropriate for them. And a lot of that is in the social media space. So I think it was, I was glad to see the governor sign that one as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So just a quick summary of all the bills that the governor acted upon over the last few days. So Chris Micheli, obviously been on the podcast, been a guest, always puts out sort of the by the numbers look. So on the last day, which was Monday, October 13th, Governor Newsom finished reviewing 917 bills that were sent to his desk during the 2025 session, including 913 regular session and 4 special session bills. Of those bills, he signed 794 of them. So we have 794 new laws in California. People always love to hear that one. And he vetoed 123 of those as well, for a veto rate of 13.4%. Last year, he vetoed over 15, almost 16%.
Yeah.
So, I just always like seeing Chris's little. It's nice to put it in perspective. Like, oh my gosh, like we have 900. Wait, what did I say? I can't remember already. 917 total bills went to his desk, but 794 new laws in California starting on January 1st. Some of them before that, right?
Yeah, Chris Micheli, I don't know how he finds the time, but he does, and it's like really nice for especially staff too.
Yeah, for sure.
Keeps us updated.
For sure. Oops. Of the one, he also did a whole breakdown of like the ones that the governor did signing messages on. I know. Which I don't have all the messages in front of me, but it sort of highlights some of the bills that the governor found important enough to comment on. So there was an ignition interlock device bill. There was there was the age verification bill we just talked about. He made a comment on. And a number of other things, housing accountability and AI and things like that. So it was interesting, but we'll get into some of those right now.
Okay.
So just, and we're going to put a bunch of links in the notes on like Cal Matters actually has a really great bill tracker. Yeah. Politico put out some good stuff. We'll put all that in the notes if anyone wants to read more into these bills. But just going through some of the Politico article, so some of the big highlights, some local officials will have to allow apartment construction near transit, right? So this was SB 79. Yeah. This was kind of the big hotly debated housing bill this year, right? That is going to, essentially allow more housing near transit stops. But I just want to say, like, there's so much misinformation out there on this bill too, that I just feel like, I don't know. If you really dive into the details of the bill, I think it is going to help in increase housing production in certain areas of the state, but it's also going to have zero impact on the vast majority of the state, right? Yeah. The way that the definitions work, they limit it to only major transit stops, which, there's a lot of information going around. If you have a bus stop near your neighborhood, they can build a 7-story apartment building. It's simply not the case. Yeah. Not a single bus stop in my entire district qualifies for this bill as a major transit stop. And so, there's a lot going around on it, but I think the goal of it, and I think what I would like to see come from this bill, we've seen a lot of bills like this pass over the years that have really had such a much smaller impact than they were sort of, said was going to have. And I would, but so much of the push for this bill in particular is building more housing in the places that continue to refuse to build housing but really need it.
Yeah.
Like the Bay Area, like parts of Los Angeles. So I think
they also narrowed it to only the 8 largest urban counties too, which I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it got pretty narrowed there as well.
Yeah, so that talks about like how it's not going to impact the whole state.
It doesn't impact any of the rural counties.
Yeah.
And I always bring up too to people like a lot of the reason, people sometimes complain in our district, which is more suburban. And I will say a district that is building a ton of housing, just building a ton of housing, not because of any laws, just because our district is building. I feel like we're doing our part and above and beyond, right?
Yeah.
And people can get frustrated by the sort of growth that's happening or the level of building. But so much of what is putting pressure on our suburban communities to build that housing is people not being able to get housing that's affordable in the Bay Area.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many people have moved to my district, to Joe Patterson's district in Placer County, whatever it is, because they just can't afford or they can't find housing in the Bay Area. And it's bills like SB 79 that are basically telling these giant cities, you need to do your part. The suburbs have done what they need to do, beyond what they need to do.
Yeah.
These cities need to step up and build some housing.
Exactly.
And I think that's what this is about. So
yeah, well, half of my neighborhood was from San Francisco, I swear.
Totally.
We have
and if this bill has its intended effect, which I still wonder how this is going to play out in reality, because I think there's a lot of concern about a bill that I think might have limited sort of application in reality. But it's like it'll actually relieve pressure on districts like mine.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we'll actually be putting housing in the places where people are, that they can hopefully afford, and then, not push all of, everyone out to other communities.
Well, not only that, the other part of it is they're moving here because, they can't afford where they live, but also what does that do to our communities? It makes it more expensive.
It does increase the price, right?
And increase the costs in our communities too. So it increased the costs in my neighborhoods. I mean, it can, because if they're able to take their San Francisco money and take it to apply it to Sacramento, you know what I mean? So I feel like
it's really interesting. It's an interesting dynamic in that we've seen, the median price of home continue to increase. I think it's now over $500,000 in the Sacramento region.
Sacramento.
I know in California it is, but I'm just thinking Sacramento region.
But
I'm pretty sure it is now over $500,000, but I need to verify that. I could be a little off on that. But what I do know for sure is we've seen it tick up, every year, right? Whenever they do the studies on median cost of a single family home, it's gone up, pretty consistently.
Yep.
And that, I worry about that. I'm lucky to have a home now, although it took a while to get there. But, I want my kids to be able to afford to live in California. I want my grandkids to be able to afford to live in California. And what we're seeing with a lot of young people is they're just choosing to move out of the state.
Yeah, exactly. So. I know. It's true.
Californians can keep consuming Happy Meals and Forever Chemicals. You wanted to talk about these. So these were vetoes, and we're not going to do all the vetoes. I'm just going through this, but...
Well, the funny thing is I don't even remember the Happy Meal bill.
Yeah, it was just a bill that would require fast food restaurants to
offer a healthy option.
Offer one healthy option if they sell a Happy Meal is I shouldn't even say that, right? That's trademarked or something.
Well, they said it.
Yeah, they say it here, but I'm just kids meals, right?
Yeah, kids meals.
Yeah. It's I feel like Happy Meal implies one company.
It does. Yeah. But I'm that bill just irritates me so much, because it's if you want your kid to have something healthy, don't go to the fast food restaurant. I mean,
that's a fair point.
I mean, you don't have to go there and buy them chicken nuggets and fries.
I have a friend who, when he got married and they started having kids, he said, I will never spend a penny at, I will not name the place, but a specific fast food restaurant, right? It's off the table.
Yeah.
And that's just, they've never eaten there in their lives. And that is a choice you can make, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We tend to cook a lot at home, but, occasionally we'll do In-N-Out or something, but we really do try to.
Yeah. But by the way, newsflash, fast food is not healthy. It's just not healthy.
If anyone needed to be told that, right? Yeah.
It's like, okay, what are you talking about? It's like, it's not healthy. It's like you go there for a guilty pleasure is really what I do. But I mean, I don't go to hardly any, but yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's pretty much known at this point. I mean, there's been so many documentaries and books. And do you remember that documentary back in, what was it?
I knew what you were
Super
going to
Size Me?
say, yeah.
With Morgan Spurlock or
Like,
whatever.
he ate
Gosh,
it
that
every
was
day.
so wild. He gained so much weight. Like, you just...
Yeah, it's like
That was so wild to watch. It's actually really good if anyone.
Yeah,
still
I just heard
remembers
about
that.
it. I never watched it, but it's just like, yeah, I didn't need a documentary to tell me that. I already knew.
I didn't need you to tell me that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but that's not the one I care about. It's the other one, which is.
Oh yeah.
know,
So so he also vetoed a bill that would have basically prohibited nonstick cookware to be sold. Is that a good way to categorize it? Okay.
Yeah, it's sold and distributed. So they said
right.
they wouldn't even be able to. There was no flexibility. So like all of the stuff we get from
Yeah.
Asia or whatever,
Yeah.
like in our ports, they couldn't even be distributed throughout California. So they couldn't even go somewhere else. So they would just like all those jobs would be lost.
From like the ports, like Long
From
Beach.
the ports.
And like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was
Interesting.
just
Wow.
like it went way too far. And
Interesting.
it was like, it just wasn't flexible. It was just like too absolute. The bill was too absolute. It was very inflexible. And I'm like, and just like basically banning all nonstick products. Which
Are you a nonstick user?
I use both. I mean, I
okay.
love cast iron, which
Yeah.
is obviously not nonstick, but I love
All the
nonstick.
fancy chefs, they do like stainless, right? Or something.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
it's like nonstick has its purpose for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even the fancy chefs, there's occasionally you
Yeah.
want nonstick.
Yeah.
I mean, for things. And so it's just
I have
like
those hex pans. What the heck are they?
I don't
they're by
know.
some chef, that Gordon Ramsay. Or,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm probably even
Yeah.
advertising this.
Yeah.
Hex.
I don't
something.
know. But I'm tired of
and I
like
love 'em.
I'm tired of the home cook being targeted. I mean, like they tried to take away our
Yeah.
gas stoves last year. And this year they're trying to take away our
They are
nonstick pans.
Well, it's
I
also
mean,
a consumer choice, right?
give me a break.
I do worry about some of these chemicals, right? Like I think that people need to be aware.
Of
that,
course.
like, and I think there's been some education on that, right? Where
Yeah.
like if your Teflon starts wearing down, you get rid of it because you don't, those chemicals can,
Yeah.
create health problems. But I think like you educate people on the
Yeah.
consumer choices,
Yeah.
and people can sort of decide on that. But yeah, it's he did veto that one. So
Yeah, but also to be said, like these
Yeah.
products are certified to be safe.
right, yeah,
Safe for
yeah,
use.
yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
don't want anyone to be afraid. It's like they've been certified to be safe.
Yeah,
They've decided, you know what, the problem is a lot of these chemicals are just in our water and just like
Right,
they're
right.
natural.
The
and
PFAS
so
and
the
yeah.
PFAS and that stuff like that.
It
and
is
it's
in
really difficult.
shockingly a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you actually do the research on it. It's, yeah. And that's really where I think a lot of the push by the federal administration right now is, and we'll actually get to one of those.
Okay.
Actually, let's just talk about it now, is Jesse Gabriel had a bill that the governor
yeah?
signed on getting ultra-processed foods out of school lunches
Mm-hmm.
and sort of school settings. I supported it.
Yeah.
I think I might have been a co-author.
I
don't
think
even
you were a
remember.
co-author. I think you were.
And I think it's a big win. I think it's an important step. I think especially at school, kids don't need ultra processed foods.
Yeah.
They're easy, right? And it's not like you can't still send them with your kid, but just in
Yeah.
terms of the school offering them,
Yeah.
I think it's an important first step towards, we do need to be more aware of what's in our food and
Yeah.
what we're eating, what we're consuming, and, getting kids started off right. And I think if, when you're a consumer at home, you have choices, but
Yeah.
at school, we shouldn't be offering junk, like
Yeah.
that, even if it's popular with the kids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's designed to be popular anyway.
Yeah. I was one of those people that brought a lunch every single day. And I feel
yeah.
like my kids did too. Like
Yeah.
the occasional treat, there was like always the occasional treat days where you could buy lunch or they had pizza day or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah, yeah.
overall.
Totally.
But it's like, it is up to the parent. And I'm sure some parents don't do a great job, but I've always tried to teach my kids, like,
Yeah.
what's healthy to put in your body, what you should, like, be having in moderation. You shouldn't have too much of that. And I really try to educate my kids because I obviously eat well. and I cook all the time. So I really care about that. So, but I want the choice to be mine, and I want the choice to, if I do want to take my kid and get them a kid's meal, I can. You know what I mean? Which of course I did that as a parent. You know, kids love that stuff. It's just you got to keep things to moderation. You keep things to moderation, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's we try to cook a lot at home too.
Yeah,
and some of that's like a cost issue too.
Yeah,
it's just like going out to dinner. Nicole and my wife and I were talking about the other day, like I feel like restaurants are gonna struggle with all these cost increases. They already are, obviously.
Yeah,
but like it's not enough to have like decent food. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like anymore. Like you almost have to have great service or something else that sets you apart.
Yeah.
Because now people are like, well, I'm going to go out to eat less. So if I'm going out to eat less, I want it to be good and I want to have a good experience. So like, where am I going to go and what comes to your mind in those moments, right? Like it's probably a place that checks a lot of different boxes, and it's not just, you're not eating out all the time, you know? So I don't know. I think it's going to get tough. So let's see. Another one, Newsom gave the tech industry. So social media companies will have to display warning labels on their platforms under a new law. This one was interesting. Device makers, including Apple, Google, will have to check child users' ages. That's the age verification bill we already talked about. Yeah. So a couple bills he signed really just keep edging towards the social media sort of limitations. You know, I thought this, I obviously supported the age verification bill. I thought the warning label bill was a little interesting. I'm not sure that really does anything. Yeah. You know, I mean, it just seems like we always say like, well, if we're worried about something, just put a warning label on it. And I don't know how much that does. I mean, has it helped with cigarettes? Maybe. I don't know. We did it with cigarettes. We've done it with gas stoves. We've done it with, you know, all these. It's just sort of, I think, an easy thing to require, but I'm just not sure how much impact it has. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'm curious to see what it looks like, though.
Yeah.
Like when you open social media, like is it going to be like in your face? Like I don't know. So
yeah, that'll be fun.
There was also some legislation he signed on chatbots, AI chatbots specifically, sort of cracking down on basically requiring that chatbots cannot be allowed to represent themselves as doctors or medical professionals. And so, and sort of putting some requirements on tech companies to be able to identify and address users like suicidal ideation and things like that. I mean, this chatbot thing's like crazy. A whole new world, right? Like, I mean, we don't really know where that's going, but it is kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
To hear some of the really sad stories of kids or people that have taken their own life after talking to one of these things. And whether or not you blame the chatbot or not, I think will depend on a case-by-case basis. But, like, we kind of got to figure that out. Like, I will say, like, these just like the AI, I do ask them a lot of medical questions, not about like mental health. So that might be a space where we like have more regulation. But like I hurt my freaking knee the other day, and I was like, it hurts between, you know, above the kneecap right here. And I like told, and it was like, oh, that's probably like tendonitis, or it could be one of these two things.
That's so crazy.
And I was like, cool. So then I was able to, you know, treat. I don't need, you know. I just need to I need a little help, you know.
Yeah. So Sarah and I were talking about this today in the office. About how, you know, that Chat GTB or GTP.
GPT.
Yeah, thank you. All of these different AI things, right? That I don't do, and I'm like, I feel like I've aged out, and I'm like, okay, I'm just like an older generation that, you know, I am noticing when you Google things, it has like the AI, you know, like summary of like stuff at the top of like your Google or whatever. Yeah. And she was talking about how she is just starting to really use it.
Really? Okay.
And because, like, you kind of have to, like, and I agree with that. I think anyone coming up, like, any of our, like, you know, teenagers, or I think it's going to be an important tool, and you can't be left behind and that kind of thing. But I am like, I am not one that's like, you know, we fooled around with it a little bit in your office, like you've done, like, you know, funny things or whatever. to like, I don't know, you did some Taylor Swift lyrics or on something. I remember it was hilarious.
Oh, actually, I think I did do that.
Yeah, you did that. Like those types of things, but I've never done it on my own. And it's just like, I do feel like I probably should try to figure things out a little bit. I mean, I don't even know the acronym.
Honestly, it's a really useful tool.
Yeah,
it's a really useful
bet.
tool. I use it. I wouldn't say more than Google at this point. I mean, Google has their own AI summary with whatever their AI services or whatever, Gemini, I think. But I still Google things, but I do find myself going to like Grok a lot.
Grok.
Or, I'm not as big of a Chat GPT user, but just asking like simple questions, like, or even, I don't know, just like about random stuff that I'm just like needing an answer on. And it's usually pretty reliable.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not great. Like the other day I just asked it like, hey, we were driving to the airport and we had like 30 minutes to kill. And I was like, what's a quick spot between here and the airport that we could stop to hang out for a minute and like, and it totally failed. But anyway.
Oh, I was going to say what?
We were in like Long Beach and it was like, we got there and we're like, oh, this is lame. All right. So then we left.
So it gave you something, but it just
threw us an
something
idea,
you enjoyed.
right? Like on our route.
Got it. Okay.
And it was just kind of lame. But so my Nicole was like, tell Grok that this place sucks. and just in case Mr. Lowenthal, Assemblymember Lowenthal is listening, I'm not saying Long Beach sucks. Okay, to be clear.
That's funny.
We love Long Beach. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
So then, so finally, I'm just going to run through some of these Cal matters. We'll see if we missed anything. Okay. I think, and then we'll actually just wrap because we got to close this out. But we did, the governor did sign the bill to extend California's cap and trade program to 2045. We've talked about that on this podcast a few times. It was, I think, a bill that has a lot of problems, is going to continue to regulate things in a way that are going to increase costs for consumers. But that did get signed by the governor. A really important bill to expand oil drilling in Kern County was a huge, I think, victory the governor signed. This is really to get at the rising cost of fuel in California. While I don't think it goes far enough, I do think it is really important that the legislature actually did anything to help bring down the cost of fuel. And I, again, I would have liked to see it go farther. But at the end of the day, it's going to at least help a little bit with the industry in Kern County.
I think it may eventually go farther because, I mean, they were spooked because of the 2 refineries that are going to close and how much it's going to increase our gas prices.
Exactly.
And, you're right. The fact that the governor was willing to go this far, I mean, I don't know. We're seeing kind of like a change in attitude from the legislature this year about oil a little bit. Yeah. I definitely noticed.
I think it's a good sign. It may be for the wrong reasons, but it is a good sign. He also signed a bill to create a Western energy market that is hopefully going to stabilize electricity rates, just allowing us to share energy in a larger Western regional market versus, just California.
Yeah, that could be good.
He signed a bill on the fees and adding $18 billion to the California Wildfire Recovery Fund. Let's see if there's any other interesting ones here. There was the bill that's going to allow Uber and Lyft employees to unionize.
Yeah.
That I think will increase costs most likely.
But I wonder if the insurance one never got through. Like they were supposed to lessen the amount of coverage. I don't know if I saw that.
I'll have to check on that one. It's not on this list.
That would lessen the costs.
There was interesting thing about Uber too that I just realized. So we were for a while getting rides for our 16-year-old. Yeah. Because he's still working on his license. Okay. You could do Uber Teen where you didn't have to be there. You could just order him an Uber and they would take him, and it's like, they have more experienced drivers and stuff like that. And you can track him the entire route. Like they had it set up so you're pretty comfortable with it.
Got it.
And they got rid of that. I went to order him one the other day and it's gone in California.
I wonder.
Because apparently the PUC told Uber, now you have to fingerprint every driver if you're going to have an Uber Teen service.
Okay.
And I'm like trying to figure out how I feel about that. Because I'm like, I was using it before that. Now it's just not, they just pulled the service.
Yeah.
Right. So now we just have no access to it whatsoever, which frustrates me. But I didn't feel unsafe using it. Like it felt like the way they had it set up where you could track your kid and you could see every mile and you could communicate with the kid. I mean, it just seemed like pretty well done already.
Yeah, like they
and pretty
already,
safe.
Yeah.
And then if you don't feel safe, you wouldn't use the service, right? So now it's like you just can't even use it.
It's
So
again
I'm
a
like,
choice
okay,
that has been taken away.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
Another
all right.
choice.
Let's see. He did establish a state agency for reparations.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was, look, what I saw on his reparations bills was he actually vetoed a bunch that actually did something. So, for example, there was a bill that would like give priority admissions, right, based on race, which I think is just patently wrong. I think that is not something that we, do in this country. You don't do a preference based on race, right? No matter what that race is. But I think this was his way of sort of doing something because it creates this agency, more government bureaucracy.
Yeah, to do what?
I don't think is really going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was him to be able to veto these other bills and say he still did something.
Yeah,
It's kind of how I took that.
Yeah.
And then finally, big bill, I think it was AB 715 to create education anti-Semitism prevention coordinator in California, help address this issue that we've seen, kind of what we talked about earlier with anti-Semitism on our campuses.
Exactly.
Was grateful to see him sign that one. So that was a lot. And we'll just sort of end it there. There's plenty of other bills. If you guys want to read the summaries, we'll put them in the notes. But I mean, when you have 700 something bills that we just got through, it's impossible to touch on them all. But I would say, like, on the year, there were some bills that I was really unhappy with, but it wasn't as like terrible as some years have been. I feel like in terms of the bad bills. And then on the good side, we did get some good bills signed as well. Any closing thoughts before we let you go?
No, it's just glad to join you again, but I'm looking forward to still the interim, I guess, when the holidays to come and that kind of thing. Already decorated for Halloween. Very exciting.
I still need to do that. I
got my purple, green, and orange lights. They're very pretty.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know. The annoying thing for you guys, though, is I still come around like once a week.
So annoying. You're difficult to take. You're difficult.
I'm basically Katie Porter. I mean,
you are. You're so close. Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna continue to have new episodes through the fall with more special guests. We'll announce those in the coming weeks. Reminder, because we're still collecting questions. So for people that want to submit questions for when my wife comes on the show at the end of the season,
oh my gosh,
that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
They can send any question you want to ask her or us as a couple or whatever you want to pointoforderpod@gmail.com, or we have a tweet pinned on our X page @pointoforderpod where you can also get on there and submit your questions.
I'll think of some questions.
I'm sure you're gonna submit some questions. I know you will. With that, follow us on socials @pointoforderpod and myself on X @Joshua_Hoover. And we'll close it out there. Teresa, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you later.
Sounds good.